It's 3 o'clock. I'm going to call the meeting to order. Can everyone rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, for the president's remarks, I want to remind everyone, again, there are just a couple things on the agenda. There is a motion to remove Director Januzak from the board. The board will be going into closed session to discuss a replacement director or directors. And we will also be voting later on to appoint a new secretary to replace Director Rogers. Any public comments have to be confined to those issues and only those issues. Having said that, if there are any public comments, I'm going to open the floor to public comments.
I'm going to write it all down. I'm going to stand this way because I want everybody to see me. I was going to write it all down, what I was going to say today, but it's just not me. Here I go again. I did it. Did you know I said what I said? Was it appropriate? No. I could have said it another way. Do I regret sending it? Yeah. But I'm not apologizing for it. I apologized the last time when they tried to throw me off the board because I thought it was what was good for the community. It's been a year later, and here we go again. I do make it easy to do it, but the simple fact is that ever since Larry became president, this has been the agenda item. This is where it's gone. This is where it goes. Last weekend, was I angry? Oh, God, yes. Very. We had an opportunity a month ago. We decided that we were going to count all the votes and not count Rick's. And then all of a sudden, last week, Cammie decides to resign, and let's do it differently now. Let's have a whole new vote. We still get to count. If we counted all the votes, everybody got their vote counted. It's what was good for the community. But the problem would have been, if Rick would have got all the votes, public would have clamored for him to be in that position of Cammie's. And that would have been a disaster. And that's what I was angry about. And I was angry that we were out, that the director, Mr. Prony and Ms. Horn, were out celebrating a victory of starting a new election. But really what they were celebrating is rigging an election of Ocean Pines. That's what we did. No, nothing else. We have votes, they're sitting in a box. They're ready to be counted. We could have done it, but we didn't. And that is what bothered me the most. And that's the thing that still bugs me to this day. And it really is, it's a shame, it's a travesty. I've talked to a lot of people who have been on boards past and present, and it's just, they've never seen anything like it. I know how this trial is going to go. The same things are going to happen again. It's a pattern of behavior. Tom has a pattern of behavior. This is who I am. I'm sorry. I was elected by more votes than any of the people that are on this board right now because I like to speak my mind and because I'm doing it for the community. I don't do it for me. None of this does anything for Tom. I do it because I'm trying hard to not spend money unwisely. And I'm trying hard to not do things that don't benefit the whole community. We've done some great stuff. Bainbridge Pond, we haven't even talked about that. Did a big planting on Monday. I had a big influence in that. It's great because it's going to hopefully help the flooding, and it's going to also fix drainage issues and make the water that goes out to our St. Martin's clean again. I was the biggest person to push for pandemic relief for our people of Ocean Pines, to give them a break through the summer, give them time to make their payments because a lot of people were out of work, a lot. I'm really proud of that. I do everything I did on this board for Ocean Pines. Not for me, no agenda, none, period. And this is what I get. Unfortunately, I said what I said, and it's, it's upsetting. One of the biggest issues I have is spending money. We have an attorney here again today. It's almost like, is it going to rain today? I don't know. Call Jeremy. What am I having for lunch? I don't know. Call Jeremy. Can we get Jeremy here? I mean, there's nothing against Jeremy, by the way. I love Jeremy, and good for him. He's making bank. But what does he have to be here for? So with that, I want to thank everybody on the environmental committee that I've worked with for the last 8 years. The work they've done with the mailbox projects and with the drainage issues and with the Phragmites and all the stuff, I couldn't be more proud of that group. I hope at some point in time we actually get the mailboxes done because it's a huge issue and I've really pushed hard to get that done. I want to thank everybody who voted for me and everybody who's still calling me and texting me and saying, stay there, fight the good fight. Don't give up. Stay on that board because you're the voice of Ocean Pines. You are a voice. Whether people like what you say, not everybody will. That's just me. That's who I am. But I said I was sorry on the last one. I didn't have to. I did it because I thought it would bring the community together and it would heal everything and we could go on. I apologize now to the people who voted for me, to the people who support me, because I am not going to stay on the board when I know there's nothing I can do. Absolutely nothing. I sit in meetings with Doug, pleading his case to have something done, and I look at him and go, just stop. You're just talking because nothing's going to happen. Because this board is run by two people, plain and simple. The minute Cammie quit, Josette was already elected to the board. The minute they found out that, once they started going after me, Amy is coming up next. Tom, I'm sorry you came out, but that's what's going to happen. So I appreciate everything you've done. I appreciate the board. I know that everybody thinks there's one possibility, but frankly, after Frank voted for his own election, I don't want his vote to keep me on this board. So with that, I resign. Thank you all very much.
And having, since Director Janaszak orally resigned, I accept his resignation. There is a motion to remove Director Janaszak. Do you want to withdraw that motion?
From a procedural standpoint, Jeremy, is acceptance of the oral resignation sufficient?
Bylaws provide that a director may resign at any time and given written notice to the board, but he did not. Robert's Rules of Order also allows for oral resignations. So that is one way. The bylaws doesn't say it's the only way that you can resign. He's resigned. It's been accepted. We're going to take action in response to that. And therefore, I don't believe you need to move forward with the vote to remove him since he's already resigned.
Okay, so as long as procedurally it is okay, I will withdraw this motion.
All right, next motion is for the board to go into closed session to discuss replacement of 2 directors. At a meeting of the Board of Directors of Ocean Pines Association, Inc., held on 11th day of October, 2021 at 3 p.m. in the Ocean Pines Clubhouse, the board voted to adjourn to closed session for the purpose of discussing matters pertaining to employees, personnel, and protection of privacy of or reputation of individuals in matters not related to the homeowners association business. Specifically pertaining to appointment of replacement directors as permitted by the Maryland Homeowners Association Act, Section 11B-111-4, 1 and 3. I'm sorry, 1 and 2. And is there a second to the motion?
Second.
Discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of going into closed session, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? The board's going to adjourn to closed session. I don't know that we'll be tremendously long, so if you wish to remain, we should be back. we're going in to discuss the candidates that are being considered for the replacement positions. No,
If I'm correct, Larry, the vote to actually appoint will be taking place in open.
yeah, the vote to appoint will be taken in here. I'm going to call the meeting back into order. We're going back into open session. Okay, the next item on the agenda is the board will vote on the two open director positions. So I move that we vote to elect two new directors. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, we're going to do it by secret ballot. So if you will put the two names of the individuals on your ballot and pass them down to Colette so they can be tabulated.
You're good, Doug.
Colette is acting as our secretary today, so she gets the pleasure of counting the votes.
Okay, the results are that there were 4 votes for Josette Wheatley, there were 4 votes for Amy Peck, and there were 2 votes for Tom Piatti. I'm sorry.
So
Did you hear that?
Josette and Amy, will take your seats up front, join the board. Amy's not here. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Okay, the next item is the board needs to elect a secretary, and we will handle that the same way. I move that we vote to appoint a new secretary of the board. Is there any discussion?
You want to ask if anybody's willing to serve?
Is anybody willing to serve? Yeah. Does that?
All eyes turn to you. All eyes turn to you.
Here. Sorry.
Larry, if I may, is there anybody else who's willing to serve, would like to serve, nominate themselves to serve as secretary? Hearing none? Okay, thanks.
I was intending to nominate Amy, but since she's not here to speak for herself and we have a willing
Yeah.
now, volunteer.
Pass your votes to Colette.
Okay, Joseph, it is.
All right. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, seeing no other business on the agenda, can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Joe? Yes.
The bylaws say that there will be election of officers after the annual meeting. Is there any plan to hold an election of officers? Or are you holding that up until this lawsuit is maybe
We, at this point, we have an election that is in process. And after the motion that was passed by this board is once that election is completed, unless the courts prohibit us from doing something, we'll seat new officers, directors, and have an organizational meeting right after in December.
I don't believe it any further. The bylaws say after the annual meeting, not after.
That's correct, but the court had issued a temporary restraining order from doing anything in regard to the election. So we couldn't seat anybody. All right, there was a second. Is there all in favor of adjourning? Say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Meeting's adjourned.